Tommy, I'm an adult. He can't tell me what I can and can't do.
Yeah, well, he can tell me. Look, I've been dealing with him my whole life. Sometimes, easier to just go along.
I don't care if it's easier. It's not fair. And by the way, you know I'm the one we should be least worried about when it comes to infected.
Hey, no. You swore. We don't talk about that.
I got bit on my arm.
Ellie, we don't talk about that.
I got bit, everybody!
Hey.
I got bit!
Hey! Hey!
I'm immune!
Whoa! Hey!
Woo!
Jesus.
The Last of Us Series 2 is, as we speak, 4 episodes in. I'm delighted to say that Craig Mazin has joined us. Where are you speaking from, Craig?
Hello, great to be here. Thank you. I am talking to you from Hollywood, California,
Right.
where dreams are made.
Is that right? Are dreams still made there? I don't know.
No, no. This is where dreams come to die, but we do our best.
Yeah.
We do our best.
Well, we might get onto that a bit later on. So as we speak, we're 4 episodes into Series 2. There are only 3 episodes to go, which feels wrong somehow. But how does what feedback are you getting as we're sort of more than halfway through?
Is it because it's a prime number?
Yes,
Is it
yes.
an odd? Yeah, it's a prime
6,
number.
8,
Nobody
or
wants
10.
a prime number.
That's what.
Yes, of course. I agree with you, by the way. I think we would have loved for it to be 6, 8, or 10. 6 seems like not quite enough. But it was an interesting circumstance here. We had a different situation with our source material. Season 1, or Series 1, as you call it. We were obviously adapting the first game, and we felt like, okay, there's not enough here for 2 seasons of television. There's enough for 1 good long one, or what we now call a long one. But for the second game, because it's so enormous, we knew we had to divide it up, and we just kind of looked to see where the dotted line of narrative seemed to be, where it would be correct to hit pause. And I've said a number of times, and we're starting to work on exactly how we're laying out our next season, but these seasons of television will not necessarily be the same length. No single season may be the same number as any other. So this one pulls in at 7. The next one could be 9.
Yeah.
It's sort of just where it wanted to end.
We've talked about your shows on this podcast a lot, and I've said a number of times that I think Chernobyl and Last of Us are 2 of the greatest TV series of my lifetime. That is, so I'm just putting my cards on the table. But just so spooling back briefly, after Chernobyl, what were you looking for? Were you looking for something similar or something completely different? Was it meeting Neil Druckmann? Was it playing the game? How did you end up in this series?
In this situation? I was actually terrified after Chernobyl. I remember even before it ended, I remember thinking, well, I think this is a pretty good show. And I don't know if anyone's going to watch it, but it seems to me like there's at least a chance to do something else after this. What will it be? I remember walking around. We were shooting in Vilnius, Lithuania, and I would just sort of walk the streets of Vilnius thinking, well, obviously now I adapt moments from history. What moment from history should I? And it all felt very forced and scared, which is normal for me. And when the show came out, I really did not know what to do. And I asked Casey Bloys, who is the head of HBO, what do you want? Which seemed like a nice cowardly thing to do. It's just to ask what was demanded of me. And he said, we want whatever makes you levitate. What will get you excited every day to wake up and do something, as opposed to feeling obligated or trying to recreate or anything like that. And I didn't know the answer to it, but around that time, the rights for The Last of Us reverted back to Naughty Dog, which is Neil's company, which is owned by Sony PlayStation. And I had played both of the, I hadn't played the second game yet. I hadn't been out, but I played the first game and I was obsessed with it. And I played it when it came out. And I had asked about it years earlier, and it was just never seemed like a possibility for so many reasons. And around that time, Neil also watched Chernobyl, and it happened as fast as that. It was a very good lesson, actually, for me to just be patient, wait, sometimes if you just stand still, it will arrive. It's hard because I'm an impatient person, but I called Casey and I was like, okay, found it. I'm levitating. Buy this for me.